Hey, this is Terry Broussard with Broussard Collection. I'm 100% Cajun. Both sides of the family. Love Cajun food. I love food. One thing I do love is Texas barbecue. Their flair for barbecue is outstanding. I've been to quite a few barbecue places in Texas and just in awe. The last time I went to Dallas, I stopped at Terry Black's and his was really good. I like that. So today, this weekend is the beginning of football season. So it's usually gumbo season, but it's still really hot. So today I want to do a smoked brisket. Texas style, but with a Cajun flair. Stick around, you're going to want to see this. Texas barbecue has a nice smoke flavor to it. And the one thing about the pellet grill that I'm using, it was missing that smoke flavor. Now the convenience is out of this world. I can set it on my phone, watch it, cook it slow, steady temperature. The briskets come out amazing every time. You got to know when to look at it, know when to wrap it, and know when to pull it. That's the things I'll go over through this video. I had to find something that I could smoke some wood in there with it, so I'd get that smoke flavor, that nice wood flavor. Texas uses post oak. I found these chunks of post oak and they work great. And then I also found this thing called a Smoke Daddy Heavy D. And you can put these chunks of wood in it and you can fill it up in there and it burns wood as you smoke. It works. I like it. I'm not getting sponsored by them. I didn't get a dime from them. I'm just telling you what works for me. I love Texas barbecue, but I like it with a Cajun flair. Now this is the Smoke Daddy Heavy D. It comes with 4 little doors. You slide on them. I'm going to go ahead and slide the back on. And we're going to fill this thing chock-a-block full of wood. And the smoke flavor on the brisket is outstanding. So if you have a pellet grill and you feel like you're not getting enough smoke, this is one option for you. So I just start packing it in there. As you can see, this is a lot of wood. How could you not get smoke flavor out of this? Let me get this in here better. One more, that's it, right there. Put your lids back on. As you can see, it goes over your firebox. What I'll do is, I'll set my smoker to 375. Bring it up to 375. When it gets there, I let it go for about 5 minutes and then I turn it down to 250 degrees, which is what I'm gonna cook the brisket at. But what that does, it ignites embers on all of that wood and it starts smoking. And it's a beautiful, clean smoke because it doesn't burn the wood too fast. I'm just impressed with it. And I think For the guys that aren't using it and have a pellet smoker and you're missing that smoke flavor, this could be your answer. Brisket is all about when to wrap it, when to pull it, how to check it before you pull it. You want to make sure that fat is rendered out and it's ready. I'm going to show you how to probe it like butter. Stick around on this video and I'll show you how to do all of these things. Now it's time to go inside, trim our brisket, and I'm going to show you how I season it and put a Cajun Flair to it. I like a brisket that's in between 10 and 15 pounds, and I went to Costco's and they have these prime briskets, but they only had a 10 pound and everything was like 18, 19, 20 pounds, and I like a smaller brisket, and I like it to be flexible where it's not all stiff. This is a nice little brisket, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it and then I'm going to season it, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to season it. So hang tight. Get our knife. You start off with a very, very sharp knife because we want to skim the fat off. And pat it dry. Now you see they got a big old hole right here. That's disappointing. You can see right there from the butcher. Ideally you'd want that not there because you don't want it any place where it can hold moisture, because I'm looking for a nice beautiful bark. So we got a lot of fat to get off of this backside. I'm going to start off with I want to leave some fat on the back. So this right here, let's start off with that. This is your point, and this is the flat of a brisket. So you look right here, this is the flat, and this is the point. The flat is a little bit more drier, and the point is moist because it's got more fat into it. So I want to leave a little bit of fat on the bottom of the flat for cooking purposes. I'm just skimming a little bit off at a time. I don't want to get too crazy. Now I'll take a lot more fat off of the point area. And what helps too is, let's say we go ahead and turn this back around and let's square this thing up. Take off the edge of it where we can see where we're at. So you see, I want to get down to about 1/8 inch, 1/4 of an inch on the fat. So on this side, I can see it. All right, so let's get it back over here. Do it this way where you can see. So I'm coming here. Go ahead and do that on the back side. Leave a little bit of fat on it. It's going to be on the bottom, so it's okay if it doesn't look perfect. Do that, then we'll go back to the front side. I'll show you how to do the front side also. Alright, so you can see my back side. I have a little layer of fat on the flat, and the point, it's got so much fat in it, I'm not concerned about it if I got to the meat at all. So I'm going to turn it over and start skimming the front. Get that big chunk of fat out of there. You should want to get under there and kind of slide your knife under there and get most of this stuff right here. See that big hole? That's horrible. Come on guys, y'all do better than that. I mean, all of this stuff will render off. I don't want to get too carried away because I don't want to take away a lot of that meat. But some of it, this thicker stuff, I want to get off. This is that fat in between the point and the flat. And I'm going to leave it like that. Just going to take off a little bit of this skin. This is hard right here. All right, there we go. I'm gonna roll with this thing like this. So I want to know which way the grain's going after it's cooked. So you could see it's going this way, right? So what I'm going to do, this is so thin right here, I'm just going to kind of follow that right there where I'll know that that is my point. I mean, there's where I want to know where my grain's going after it's smoked. So you can see how it kind of goes this way now. All right, not the best job, but it's not bad. All right, let's get rid of all of this tallow right here. All right, now it's time to put the Cajun Flair to this brisket. So it's in the seasoning and the binder. We're going to use your favorite Cajun seasoning. I use K-Fred. We're going to go first with that, and I'll show you how to do that. Black coarse ground pepper, we have kosher salt, and we have granulated garlic. We're going to go 50% ground black pepper, we're going to go 30 to 40% kosher salt, and about 15% garlic pepper. I already had some in here, so I'm just going to fill it up, go with the more that I have. We're just gonna add more to it. I'd already had that. There we go. And then I had to break it up on the garlic. There you go. So you could see that, right? Put your lid on it, mix it up real good. I like to use a little there it is right there. I mix my own seasoning. We're going to turn it over. We're going to do the fat side first because we cook the fat side down on the pellet smoker. At least that's how I do it. This is the key to the good bark and the flavor. So I'm going to cover this with Worcestershire sauce. Make sure you get the sides. And then hit it with this, the Cajun seasoning first, because what I'm looking for is you get that great taste of the pepper and the salt and the garlic first. And then at the end, you get like a little kick, and it's like, ooh, okay, I taste that Cajun stuff in there. So, and I pat it in. We'll go on the sides. And we use our pepper, salt, and garlic mixture, and we put a nice coat of it on there. Don't be afraid to hit it hard with this. I know this seems like a lot, but this is a lot of meat, and all you're getting is the taste of the bark. And you want some of this stuff to seep in. So I'm gonna pat it in. Get those sides done real good, because it's important. I want this thing nice and barky. Barky, you like that, huh? All the way around. And I want the flavor of this black pepper and salt. I love that Texas barbecue. But we giving it a little Cajun flair. Why? Because I'm Cajun and we can do that. Alright, so that's the back side. Let's go to the front. Same process, just do it again. I want it thick. Hit it with that Cajun seasoning. Okay, Fred, right here, boy, you're gonna get it done. It's gonna have a nice little kick to it at the end. Way in the back of that throat. And then I'm gonna hit it hard with the salt and pepper and the garlic. And even, try not to get it where it's got big patches of salt and pepper. That's why I use this right here. Just gonna get it patted in there. Don't forget to check your smoker. If it gets to 375, 5 minutes, shut it down, let that wood catch fire. Let's take a look at that. Oh, that's pretty. So my pellet smoker's on about 360 right now. I want to let it get to 375 like I mentioned. But the purpose of the Worcestershire sauce, it gives it that darkness, that rich black look to it. Now when I first got my pellet smoker, before I started going with the wood chunks, I had a buddy of mine who's pretty good at all of this stuff. And I asked him, I said, man, how can I get it that rich black look? And he says, this is your secret right here. And it's got a nice little taste to it, so that's why we put it on there. And then we hit it with the Cajun seasoning first, black pepper, salt, and garlic after. So I want that taste, right when you taste it, it's like, ooh, that's good Texas barbecue. And then as you're eating it, it's like, ooh, wait, what is this? Oh, I could taste a little Cajun in here. Because I'm telling y'all, Cajun food is amazing. You can go to any grocery store in this area, and I'm in the heart of Cajun country, and the food is amazing. Any gas station, you could pick up a plate lunch, and it's better than most restaurants in the country. Now it's Cajun cooking, old style. I like that. We're gonna put this on the smoker, and we're going to let it go to 165. I'm not opening the lid. I'm going to probe it twice in the flat because I want to make sure I get a good reading. I have 2 probes for that smoker, so I'm going to use both of them. I don't probe the point. I don't care about the point. I got to nail the flat for this brisket to be top of the line. Good. So I probe it twice. I go to 165. And the reason, it's just from cooking many briskets. I don't spritz anything on this pellet grill. I know the color's going to be just right. It's going to be perfect. I look at it at 165. Okay, oh, I like that bark. Then I'm going to bring it back here and I'm going to wrap it. So 165 is just a number to go look at it. That's all. Just like the end cook, 204, 205. That's just a number to go start probing it to see if it's ready. Don't go by temperature only, because each piece of meat is different. So y'all hang tight. On this Rectech, the hot side is the right side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the point facing the right side in the middle of the smoker with the flat, not to overheat it so that it dries out. Now for me, this is important. I'm gonna close the lid right here. I'm not opening it until the internal temperature of that brisket is 165, so I can check the bark at that time. All right, so it's at 165 right now. I want to take a look at it, see if I want to wrap it now or I want to go a little bit longer. I think I want to leave it on there a little bit longer before I pull it and wrap it. It's getting close, but I'd like to get it a little bit darker. So I'm at 165. I'm gonna come back and check it at 168. 168 now. Let's take a look at it. That looks good. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it and wrap it. So I'm gonna bring it inside. Look, these little white gloves work so good. These gloves with a little bit bigger size, and they fit great. And you can put a brisket in your hand and hold it like that. Look how pretty that looks. Let me go get that wrapped. I'll see y'all inside. All right, so we got it inside, and you can see how good it looks. It's got a nice bark. So I didn't spritz or anything. I just cooked it till I like what the bark looks like. I'm gonna wrap it. I use a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and I'm gonna pour on here a little bit to wrap it up. Sometimes I'll use the Wagyu tallow, but I don't have any right now, so this is just as good. Open this up. I'm gonna pick this up a little bit. And I just want to kind of pour some on the bottom. Right there. And I'm going to sprinkle some of this on here. Especially on the bark that's really cooked well. I'm going to get this thing soaked up pretty good. All right. Nice and tight, just like that. And I'm going to go put it back on the smoker with the point facing away from the hot end, and I'm going to put it all the way to the other end of my smoker. And I'm going to go ahead and probe it again, because now I'm looking for about 204, 205 before I come check it. And I'll show you how I do that. So hang tight. All right, we're going to get it back on. Again, like I said, this is my point. I'm going to put it on this end. I don't want to overcook it. I used to put it on the hot end of the fire, but I found that if I get it all the way to this end, it'll cook this just right, and the point will be perfect. I don't even probe the point for a temperature. Get this out the way. We'll put it way over here. So you see I'm way over there this time. And let me put this on my other hand. Man. We're going to get these probes back in to the flat. And I do two because it gives me a better reading. Make sure I'm on the right reading and I don't have a false reading, so I kind of go with the lower number. So there we go. We're still at 250. We're going to let it go to about 204, 205, and then we'll check it again. So everything I do is about temperature. I don't have a stopwatch saying, oh, in 4 hours I check it. I do it by temperature. And that doesn't even, the temperature is just a looking point, a checking point. Doesn't mean if it's finished or not. Look, I found out that briskets are never the same. I mean, you could cook one way and the other one's going to be totally different. So just hang in there. We're going to show you how this is going to look whenever we probe it. All right. So one probe is at 203 and the other probe is at 204. We're going to go ahead and probe it to see if it's ready. You hear a lot of guys say, oh, it's 203, you can pull it. But until it probes like butter, I'm not pulling it. I've taken brisket to 210, and those briskets were the best I've ever had. So it all depends on if it's ready to be pulled or not. Let's take a look at this one. Let's see. Ooh, that felt like butter right there. That felt good. That's hard. That's not ready yet. See? See how hard that one was? I'm not pulling it yet. We're going to let it go. You saw the ones on the front part of that flat. It's not ready. So I'm going to let it go a little bit longer. I'll come back and check it at about 205, 206. Thinking it might be ready then, but until it probes like butter, I'm not pulling it. All right, so it's sitting on 206 now. Let's check it. Okay, you need to see this. This is what I'm talking about. So it's 206 degrees, but it's probing like butter. All right, watch this. You see how that just goes right? Look at that. Look at there. You remember how hard that was right there? That's butter. That's what we're talking about. We're going to go ahead and pull it. I'm going to open it up when I get it inside. Just let you take a look at it and let some of that steam come out, and then I'm going to wrap it back up. And I usually put it in a cooler. Today I'm just going to put it in the oven for about 3 hours and let it rest. So come on inside and we'll show you how that's done. Well, if you could smell it now, it smells amazing. Let's open it up. Come on, get closer. We're going to look at this one. Oh, that smells good. And it looks good. So now I'll let some of the steam out. I'm going to close it back up. And we'll open it back up in 3 hours. All right, so it's been resting for 3 hours. We're going to pull it out. Take a look at it. Oh, that looks good. That bark looks good. Right there, look at that. You see, that bark looks amazing. Worcestershire sauce. And then you can see a little bit of the redness. Not much, but from that Cajun seasoning. Let's cut it and see what it looks like right here. There we go. Oh, look how pretty that is. Let's see. Look at that. Perfect. Every time like that. Right there. Ton är mycket att missa sig bon way. Woo! Check this barbecue with a Cajun Flair. You gotta try it. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a blessed day.